Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Happy Sunday. I'm happy to be back with you guys. If you noticed, I did miss a couple of videos last week. I was in the hospital for 4 days. I had to have my gallbladder taken out, which was not fun. I am still not at 100%. I haven't been able to list anything in 5 days. Luckily for me, I have employees that still shipped items out, so the business kind of kept going even though I wasn't listing items. So our sales are down, but since I haven't done a video in a while, I do have quite a few bread and butter items to show you. These are items that are out there. They are pretty easy to find. They are easy to flip for a profit with minimal investment, which is really important when you first start reselling. These are items that you can find really cheap at thrift stores, garage sales. I buy a lot from online auctions, so they are there as well. And I'm going to actually start off showing you my Poshmark and Mercari sales because we have had quite a few that are okay. And then we're going to go on over and take a look at eBay. First up, we are going to start over on Poshmark. This is a pair of bib jeans, Key Imperial Carpenter overalls. And I picked these up at the flea market for $5. The payout was $24. So the profit on these was $19. These sold really fast. They actually sold in just a couple of days. So if you do not know, definitely keep an eye out for jean overalls, and these are a larger size as well. They are 46 by 30, and these are Key brand, which is not a brand that I have sold before, but I was able to comp them. So $19 in a really fast sale is not bad in my opinion, and I love Poshmark because it's a flat rate shipping up to £5. Next up is this Nautica naval blue cable knit. This is a fisherman boat sweater. This one's a size extra large. It sold for $28. Payout was $22. So it's a $21 profit as I got this as a dollar buy at a local thrift store. And here you can see the boat that was on it. Here's the Nautica XL. This one's made in China, and this one's not vintage or anything. It did take a little bit longer to sell, but it's a good profit from a dollar buy. Next up is a really good sale. This is a Ferrari women's red polo shirt. Payout was $34 on this, and this is another dollar thrift store buy. So if you're lucky like me and you have those dollar clothing stores, or maybe yours do sales like mine do, watch for stuff like this. Even if you paid $5, payout of $34 would not be bad. So here you can see the SJ, the Ferrari logo, the measurements. This was on a Ferrari tag. This one was a small one. It was a size 2. So I'm happy that it sold relatively fast and made a good profit. Watch out for different car brands. I've done very well with clothing that are brand specific. Next up is a really cool vintage. This is Neiman Marcus. It says Newman Marcus. I didn't catch that, so that was a typo on my part. This is a polka dot clutch purse evening bag, black and white. This one sold for $25. Payout was $20. Picked this up at the thrift store for $2. So this one's an $18 profit. So you can see thus far on Poshmark, our sales have been kind of traditional Poshmark sales with clothing and handbags, but we have quite a few weeks, even months, where we primarily sell housewares and hard goods on Poshmark. So make sure you're listing that stuff as well. Next up is one of my favorite things to pick up, and that's women's robes. I love picking up nightgowns, robes, lingerie, pajamas. This is a Studio Donatella women's pink floral robe, large, extra large. Payout on this one was $15. This is another dollar thrift store buy. I get quite a bit of them, so $1 into a $15 payout is a really good return. This one's not vintage. I mainly pick up vintage, but there are some that are newer that I will pick up. This one was really nice and great condition, and this one was a good profit. This one is a little more up our alley. This one is a vintage Vanity Fair nylon lace. nightgown. This one sold for $28. Payout was $22. So this is another $20 profit. This is more like what I tend to lean towards picking up. Here you can see that vintage Vanity Fair made in the USA. This is another small one. So when I get these smaller sizes, I'm always happy when they sell. The larger sizes definitely do sell a little faster. So just keep that in mind, depending on how much space you have. If you do have limited space, I would probably stick to picking up large or bigger than a large. So like an XL or XXL, but the small ones will sell. So if you have room, I definitely would still pick them up. Last up for Poshmark is a chaps women's floral print dress, navy blue wrap, flowers. This one has an MSRP of $115. I paid $5 for this. Payout was about $35, so it's about a $30 profit. This one I got at the dollar thrift store, but they do have ones that are boutique. You can see the red marker here. So this one was part of the boutique, so it cost $5, but it was still a $30 profit. And you can see here it was still new with the tag with the MSRP of $115. That MSRP is not overly important. I want to point that out because it has a new tag saying $115. It sold for $42. We're only getting a payout of $35. So again, after the $5 we spend, it's a $30 profit, which is still good, but don't put too much emphasis on the MSRP on those tags. All right, we are moving over to Mercari, and first up is an Amaro. Here's another pajama set. So if you're not paying attention to the pajamas, loungewear, sleepwear section, definitely give it a look. I did accept a best offer of 15% off on this one of $34. This is another from the dollar thrift stores. So this one is about a $28 profit and sold pretty fast. This was a good size. It was 4X. And again, as I was saying earlier, those larger sizes definitely do sell faster. This was not a brand I was familiar with, but the size and the leopard print made me feel like this was probably a pretty good bet, and it turned out to be correct. Next up is a vintage Santa's Magic hat. This is a little motion activated, animated, musical, dancing, singing little Santa hat. This one sold for $34. I got this in a Christmas lot for just a couple of dollars. So this one's actually about a $28 profit. It was listed back in December, so this one sold pretty darn fast. So I am happy with this one. I did have the original box. You can see it was made in China, but it was vintage, but not something overly desirable, but still a pretty good profit. And you do see, and I like to point this out every time they sell far away from the holiday. Holiday stuff sells year round. This is a Christmas item selling in January. I had to put this one up because me and this buyer are going round and round. So first of all, it accidentally got put as free shipping, which it should not have been. So they got it about $10 to $12 cheaper than they should have. And they were expecting a working Chromebook for $25 free shipping. So you can see here in my title, it says not tested. It is used for parts. I never turned this on, and apparently it is locked, so they are having a fit. And I'm like, look, like you paid $25, you got free shipping, and it says parts, it says parts, it says not tested. And I'm hoping Mercari will back me. Whether they do or not, I don't know. That decision has not been made. So I will try and remember to let you guys know on the video next Sunday whether Mercari takes that and lets them return it or stands by me, because it does clearly say for parts not tested in the title. Next up is the Chemical Brothers. This is a Further vinyl LP album or record. This one I took 15% off. It sold for $25.50. I actually have only sold my records thus far on Mercari yet. So if you have records list them over on Mercari. So this one I paid about $2 for. So it's about an $18 profit. It was listed at the end of December, so it took right at a month to sell, and it is a pretty decent profit. All right, we are moving over to eBay, and our sales are horrible over here. I'm not going to lie to you. I am not happy with where we are sitting on eBay. I am hopefully going to get some more listings up later today. So I'm recording this about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're at $134 in sales today. We're at $2,600 for the week, $9,800 for the month. My goal is $20,000 per month. We are under half of where I want to be. For the last 90 days, we're at $42,900, so almost $43,000. So you can see yesterday we did $224. The day before was decent. Thursday we did $716. Look at this. We had our first 0 day and I don't remember how long. And that was on Wednesday. And again, that is when I had my surgery. So nothing was being listed here. Tuesday we did 198. Monday was a beautiful day at 878, and Sunday was good at 533. So we are having some of those good days, but we're having way too many low days. So we need to get that consistency up. I need to get listing regular. I know I have about 300 in drafts I need to get price and get put up. So hopefully I'll be feeling better and be able to get that up. And we're going to take a look now at some of the items that have sold over the last 7 days to make up that 2,600. I am only showing you ones under $50 because I will be doing a high dollar what sold later this week. First up on eBay is this vintage walnut carved wood mallard duck lid glass jar. This one is a rib jar. I did put hunter gift or dog treats. Really, really neat piece. I find the etched walnut like pen holders and napkin holders all the time, but this was the first time I found a jar. So this one sold for $24.99, which I picked it up at the thrift store for just a few dollars. And this one was listed back in September, so about 4 to 5 months to sell. Not too bad. There you can see the mallards. I was thinking it might sell for Christmas for a Christmas gift. It did not. Now, I might have been a little better off showing the lid like this where they could see that duck design a little more, but still not too long to sell. And this one was close to a $20 profit. Next up is one of my favorite things, and that is a carved fetish bear. So carved stone animals by Native Americans are called fetishes, and there are all different shapes of them. This one took over a year to sell. It is a very small one, and I will show you it with the measuring tape. This one did sell for a best offer I sent out of half off, so I might have priced this one a little high. Some carved fetish animals can sell for hundreds though and be small, so make sure that you look and try and price check, especially if they're signed. Those are the ones that are worth the most money. So I paid $5 for this. It sold for $35. So it's about a $25 profit. But again, it did take a year to sell. I didn't take a picture with the tape measure. That's how long ago this was done. But I believe this one is only about an inch long. Next up is another one that took over a year to sell, and that is a set of 10 April Cornell Fiesta floral cloth napkins. These were listed back in November of 23. So they actually took a little over a year to sell. They sold, this is another one that sold for a half off offer. So with a lot of these half off offers, I really have to wonder if I priced too high, if I didn't find accurate comps. And these sold for $24.50. I originally got them at the thrift store for just $4. So they're about an $18 profit after fees. Again, took a long time to sell, and a lot of the linen can. So you have to be careful if you don't have space with picking up linen. So here you can see these are absolutely gorgeous April Cornell napkins. And you can see the TJ Maxx on the tag. They did take, again, they took longer to sell, and it did take a 50% off offer to get them gone. Apparently, a lot of my half off offers have spurred some older sales. This one actually sold for full price though. This one was listed over a year and sold for full price of $34.99. This is a vintage cast iron Hubli Hines Griswold pup. It's a little paperweight, sold for $35. I got it for just a couple of dollars. So this one's about a $28 profit, but another one that took over a year. So a lot of older items on here. We're sending out 50% off offers if we've had them more than a year. And yeah, happy with the sale and happy to see some of this older stuff getting out of here. Another over a year. The stuff over a year is flying out of here. Flying out of here a year later, though. This is a symmetric brown indoor-outdoor throw pillowcase. Picked this up for $1.59 at Goodwill. I remember because I picked up a lot of them. And this one sold for a best offer of $20. So it's about a $15 profit, but again, took a long time to sell. This one was by So Susie Designs, and she actually is on Etsy. And I didn't want to use her name because she is a seller on the platform. So I did leave that out because I did not make these. So I think that's probably why this one did take a little bit longer to sell. Up next is finally something that didn't take forever to sell. This one took about 4 months to sell. This is a vintage Hull 1950s Little Red Riding Hood salt and pepper shaker. These sold for $19.99. And I wanted to show you these because if you find the teapot or the picture or the cookie jar of this set, they are worth quite a bit of money. We're talking $100 plus. So make sure you remember what these look like. Keep an eye out. If you can find these salt and pepper shakers cheap, I definitely would pick them up. And these came in a lot with the teapot and cookie jar that I wanted. So I kind of figured these as a bonus and about a $15 profit. Next up is another one that took over a year and another 50% off offer. So this one sold for $26. Half off offer. It was listed in July of 23. So this one's actually coming up on 2 years. And it's a beautiful marcasite and black onyx brooch that I really don't think should have took that long. And I don't think this was too unfairly priced, to be honest. So if you have any idea why this one might have took so long, definitely let me know. I did originally only pay $5, so it's about $18 profit. But again, over a year and a half to sell. But if you have this older inventory in your store, this definitely goes to show that sending out 50% off offers definitely will get those items sold. Next up is one that did not take that long. This one took about 5 months to sell, and this one sold at full price. This is a vintage Wilson's Leather. This is the only purse I've ever seen by Wilson's Leather. It's kind of a patchwork, really neat purse, and this one sold for $29.99. I picked it up for $5. You can see necessary objects there. This one had wear on that handle and still sold for the full price. It is a bigger kind of satchel tote bag. Overall, it was in good shape. It was just those handles, and this one's going to be about a $22 profit. Next up is a set of 5 vintage Jewel Bright plastic Christmas ornaments. These are really cool, and actually one of these broke in shipping, unfortunately. So these I took a $35 best offer. These were just listed less than a month ago, so they sold very fast. And they're going to be about a $25 profit. Really, really cute with the little elves and pixies in them. So with these vintage Jewel Bright plastic ones, it definitely matters what's inside those bulbs as far as your comping. So if you do find these, make sure you're looking at ones with the same type of things inside the bulbs. So I did give a partial refund for the one that broke, but these are still a $25 profit, and they sold really fast. Up next is another fast sale. This one was just listed back in December, sold for full price. This is a Rocket Racer vintage 60s 10-toy friction siren litho rocket car with box. It does work. And this one I got in a toy lot on an online estate auction. I paid about $5. So it is about a $24 profit, and it sold in under a month. Keep your eye out for vintage 10 toys, especially if they come with the box. Next up is another one that took a year. This video is slap full of things that took a year to sell. This one took a year to sell though and sold for full price of $27.99. This is a vintage duck head sweater. I only paid $1, so it's a $20 profit. You can see there were a couple of spots there on this one, that original duck head logo. There is a tag made in the USA, and good profit on this one, but again, over a year to sell. This one was a faster sale. This one only took 2 months. This is a crystal rhinestone clutch Sprite design by Ole Gift, and this one sold for $39.99 full price in 2 months. This one was part of the designer buyout that I did, so I don't have an exact cost in on this one, but I think the $39.99 is a good price on this one, and I actually felt I priced up a little, so I'm happy that this one sold without an offer. Another 2 years to sell. This is a Custo Barcelona sleeveless tank top, size 4, and this is another one that went out with a best offer sent on it, and this one sold for $28. So another half off. And again, getting those half off offers out definitely has increased sales, but again, leads me to wonder if I price these too high. So definitely make sure you're checking your comps closely. This one's really cool. You can see the eyes there, the lips, the zebra, just a really, really neat print. It was new with the tags, and the tag was $158. I priced it $55. So I priced $100 under MSRP. I thought that was a fair price, but it took a half off offer of $28 to get this one sold. Next up is an empty Dior box. This is the only one I put in. We actually have had quite a few empty box sales. This one was listed back in September, so it took about 5 months to sell. It sold for $40.49. I sent off 10% off because it had not been listed very long. And this one I got from Rod for $5, and it's going to be about a $28 profit. So if you see empty designer boxes, definitely pick them up. This one was magnetic, and the magnetic boxes are for purses, and those do tend to sell a little bit faster. Next up is one that took about 6 months to sell. This is a Dymo digital postal scale. This one sold for a best offer I sent out of $34.29. It was listed for about 6 months, and this one I got for $10 at the thrift store. So it's about a $18 profit. And this one we could have kept as a backup scale, but I use Accutech and I'm pretty happy with those. So this one I was happy to sell, and maybe it went on to another reseller. Next up is another 6-month sale, and these are some pillows. I love picking up indoor outdoor pillows. These sold for full price of $40. Picked these up for $8 at the thrift store, so over a $25 profit. They are Hampton Bay brand, and 6 months on some pillows I'm not too unhappy with, because again, those linens and bedding items can take a little bit longer, and these are a good profit, and we do ship these out in a big poly bag. Next up are some, I actually believe I got these at the same thrift store I got that Dymo. So these have been listed about 8 months. These are ceramic cobalt blue fish-shaped salad bowls. They were signed Italy, and these sold for a best offer of $42. Pick these up. I believe they were $2 or $3 each. So these are about a $35 profit, but again, took a little over 6 months to sell. These are something I would pick up again just because I think they're cool. I did want to show you they do have chips, so they did have flaws, and they still sold for that $42. Next up is a really cool lampshade. This is a glass lampshade I picked up at the thrift store for just $3, and this one sold for a best offer $41.99. So I did send out 30% off, and it is a $33 profit and not too long to sell. Really, really neat vintage blown glass lampshade. So keep your eye out for those. And this one was a great profit, and again, kind of mid-range as far as how long it took to sell. Next up are one of my weaknesses, and that is Tervis tumblers. I am trying to lot them up now, though, so that I get a higher sales price. And these did sell for full price. They took about 8 or 9 months. They sold for $34.99. I am $6 into these, so these are about a $20 profit for the 3. I, for some reason, cannot pass up a good set of Tervis. I don't know why. It's like a pin obsession. I have a cup obsession, a pin obsession, but took a little bit longer to sell, but good profit on these Tervis. All right, last up for the day is this Toil the Coolie collection, vintage rooster, cobalt blue serving. I did put the crazing in the title. This one was listed over a year, but did sell for full price at $25.99. So when I come back with you guys, I am going to talk to you here in just a second about sending those offers and how I think it has helped move these older items. So pick this up for $1 at a garage sale. This one is about a $20 profit, but again, really long time to sell. So you got to be careful when you're doing these comping. Again, I say it all the time, but if you don't have a lot of room, really be a little more particular about what you're picking up to resell. All right, that was everything. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit because I didn't realize how jam-packed full this video was going to be of items that were over a year old. So it was honestly a little more were from offers I sent out, but quite a few sold over a year at full price. So I think if you have that older inventory and you're ready to let it go, send out an offer if you have watchers of 50%, get it gone, get the money back in your pocket, buy better inventory, make better decisions. And it seems like selling those ones on the offers fueled selling ones at full price that had been here for a year as well. So I really think that helps. If you don't know, our offer structure is anything from 1 day up to 3 months. I send out 10%. And then when we go from 3 months to a year, I send off 30%. Once we get over that year point of having something, I will send out 50%. Luckily, I typically buy at 10%, so that doesn't mean a loss for me. But in some rare cases, it does. But sometimes you just have to let it go. In a year's time, you've learned a lot. You're making better decisions about what you're sourcing. And it's good to get money coming into your business. So I hope you have enjoyed this. Again, thank you all for the well wishes. I really appreciated them. I am trying to be on the mend and behave and not do much. And hopefully we'll be back to my regular self soon. I hope you've had a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you on the next one.